The Two Legends One Piece booster box. Is it a good investment? A bad investment? Or somewhere kind of in the middle? Yeah, that's crazy. She's one massive lard ass. She's one ugly beast. You know, if you turned up for a blind date and that was your date, you'd run for the hills, right? That's crazy. I'm sorry to all my Pokemon loving friends out there in YouTube world, but every now and again, you know guys, I got to do a little One Piece video just to wet my beak. And today we're talking about OP8, the Two Legends booster box from One Piece. It came out on September 13. We're now about a week into November. By the time you watch this, it might be mid-November. This set's more or less 2 months old. I want to go through the top 10 chase cards. That's what I do here at the Chase Card. I review the top chase cards. Hence the name of the channel. And we're going to try and work out from those top 10 chase cards. Is this a good investment, a bad investment, or somewhere in the middle? Let's get into it. Alright, the 10th most expensive chase card from One Piece 2 Legends is this Marco. Now this Marco is a leader card. It's got that sort of red and blue combination. I'm not a big fan of this card. You might be. You might want to get it in your collection. You guys know I'm more specifically into Pokemon, but I do dabble a little bit in One Piece. Obviously, Pokemon's got a 3-decade track record, so I prefer it. But One Piece is popular, so that's why we're going through One Piece booster boxes once in a blue moon. And this one, minus 4%, down 4% in the last month. Again, this set's only about 7.5 weeks old, guys. But that's the Marco. That's a leader card. It's $38. And it's down a few percent over the last month. That's a 10th most expensive card from Two Legends. Here's the 9th most expensive card, $38, guys. This Charlotte Pudding is down 31% in 1 month. So if you do like any of these cards, be careful rushing in to buy the singles, because as you'll see on a lot of these, the single prices are really tanking. So just, if you like any, maybe just be patient and keep an eye on them. There might be a better opportunity to pick some of these up at a better price. But I'm just going to go through all top 10 with you nonetheless, and you guys can decide, what you want to do with that information. I quite like this card. I like the yellow and purple kind of pops nicely. And it's a nice card. It's a leader card as well. And it's probably one of my preferred cards on this list. Am I going to rush out and buy it? No. I don't buy many singles. I prefer to invest in the booster boxes, as I say pretty much in almost every video. But if I pull this, I'll be really happy. It's a really nice card. If it drops in price, I may look at picking it up, but it's neither here nor there, guys. That's the 9th most expensive from Two Legends. Now here's the Luffy. It's down basically 3%. It's basically flat on the last month. Going from $40 down to, what is it now? Like it's down like $1. Like it's basically flat on the month. Now Luffy is probably the most popular character from One Piece, let's be honest. And some of the Luffy cards in other sets go for hundreds and even thousands of dollars. This is one of the cheaper Luffy cards you're going to come across. It's not a great Luffy card, but if you like Luffy, it's a cheapie to pick up. And it's not dropping much. Like I said, over the last month, it's down 2 or 3%. It's not dropping much. But keep an eye on it. It might be worth picking up if you like Luffy and you want to buy a cheap Luffy card. You can't afford the more expensive ones. This is the 8th most expensive chase card from Two Legends, guys. Number 7, the 7th most expensive card from Two Legends, down 14% on the last month, is this Tashigi. Now, this is basically down. Let's have a look. It had a high here of $62 about a month ago, less than a month ago. Sort of mid to late October, it was $62. Now you can pick it up for $50. But again, it's on the way down still. It's not showing any signs of correcting. It's not showing any signs that it's about to bounce back, tomorrow or next week. Keep an eye on this card, and if you like it, there's probably a good chance to pick it up in a few weeks' time or even a couple of months' time. Just keep an eye on what the price does. If you see it start to correct and you like it, maybe pick it up. But I wouldn't be rushing out and buying this card, guys, if you like it. This is actually a really nice card. I do like this one. I don't like all the cards on this list, so why am I speaking about them? I like to review the top 10 chase cards of any booster box from One Piece or Pokemon to see if I think the booster box is worth investing in. That's why I review these cards. That's why I look at them the way I do. I believe there's a correlation between the top 10 chase cards and the value of them and whether or not the booster box will be a good investment. So that's where I come from, guys. That's my thinking. That's my methodology, if you will. That's the Tashigi. What did I say? That's the 7th, and it's a really nice card. I really like this card. Again, if I pulled it, I'd be really happy. I'd get it graded. but I'm not going to rush out and buy it. And again, I think the price is going to continue to drop. The sixth most expensive chase card from Two Legends from OP8 is this Portgas D Ace. Now, this is a very popular character. This Portgas D Ace is a really popular character in One Piece. This card is $53. A month ago it was $58. It's come down about $5 or 8.5% in the last month. I'm not a big fan of this card. Maybe you guys like to collect the Portgas D Ace cards. Maybe you do like this character and you'd be keen to get it. It's one of the cheaper Portgas D Aces that you can get. Again, it's still dropping in price. Be careful buying this card now because I think it's still going to come off quite a bit. But again, if you love this card, please keep an eye on it and look at picking it up at a suitable time. If you're into collecting singles and if you're just about booster boxes like I am primarily, then just stay tuned. We're going to have a look at the booster box price shortly. But it's important if you're a booster box investor to understand what the cards in the set are doing, the big chase cards. That's really important. If you're investing in booster boxes and you don't give a damn what the value of the top chase cards are, you're really not vested in the hobby enough, you know. My personal opinion is you're not going to get as big a returns if you're buying average sets. That's my personal philosophy. The fifth most expensive chase card, $64 for this Charlotte Pudding. Again, I kind of don't mind it, but I'm not huge on this card, and it's down 31% in a month. This card is absolutely tanking big time. 31% down from $95 a month ago. You can pick it up for $64, $65 now. These are US prices. These are raw, ungraded prices, guys. And what did I say? I think that's the 6, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. That's the fifth. I'm losing myself already. We're in the top 5 now. That's the fifth most expensive chase card from Two Legends from OP8. Again, not one of my preferred cards on this list, but it's reasonable. It's a reasonable looking card. It's really tanking, guys. Again, if you want this card, I wouldn't rush out and grab it. Just keep an eye on it, yeah. The Queen. This is the fourth most expensive chase card from Two Legends from OP8. This is currently $75. It had a high here of $92. Back in sort of mid to late October. I'm now about a week into November at the time of filming this. So this is about 3 weeks ago. It was 92. Now it's 75. It's come off 16.5%, call it 16% in the last month. This Queen, I don't know how many Krispy Kremes she's been eating, but she's one huge heifer. I don't know how she even fits on that bloody card. She's so huge. Yeah, that's crazy. She's one massive lard ass. But that's the fourth, guys. $75. So we've got some decent prices on these top 10 chase cards so far. The third most expensive chase card, $89 for this Jewelry Bonnie. Now this one I quite like. This is a really nice card. I like the artwork on this card. Again, there's something about it that I like. It just kind of pops. It's really nice design. $94, $89 now, $94 a few weeks ago. It's down about 3% in 1 month. It's basically flat. This one hasn't tanked like some of the others. Again, who knows what these cards or any of these cards are going to do in a week, a month, 3 months. We don't know if this is going to get a reprint in 6 or 12 months' time. We don't know. It's way too soon. So again, if you like the card, you buy it because you love it, not for investment. We buy the booster boxes for investments. The singles we buy if we like them. You know, that way we're not going to lose sleep if it goes up or down 10, 20%. We still love it because we love it. Simple, right? That's the Jewelry Bonnie. That's number 3, the number 3 chase card. And that's, like I say, $89, guys. Really nice card. And I think other people think it's a nice card because the price is quite firm over the last month. Here's the second most expensive chase card from Two Legends, the Gecko Moria. That is one ugly son of a gun. Look at that thing. $93. I mean, the artwork's nice, but that Gecko Moria, that thing is a beast. That is one ugly beast. You know, if you turned up for a blind date and that was your date, you'd run for the hills, right? That's crazy. $132 less than a month ago. Now $93. This thing's down 23% in 1 month. You'll see a pattern in this set that most of these cards, most of these top 10, they're going downhill. Now, booster boxes are normally a bit more resilient than singles, as you guys are probably aware. But that's the second most expensive chase card, and we haven't even cracked $100 yet. So, not the strongest set. I don't think Two Legends is a really crazy awesome set. I don't think it's the worst set. Here's the number 1 chase card. This Silver's Rayleigh. This is the manga card. $337 you can pick this up for. It was $352. As most of these cards had a high around October 18. Most of them had a high around the same date. This was $352. It's come off a little bit. Nowhere near as much as some of the others. And even with this recent dip over the last few weeks, as you can see here, it's still up. It's still up basically 3% on the 1 month. So I'm not going to go back any further than 1 month because again, this set's 7 weeks old. There's not enough long-term price data yet, so that's why I'm just sticking to the 1 month on this video. Very new set, guys. Very new set. $337. This one's holding up a lot more steady than a lot of the other ones we looked at, and this is the number 1 chase card. $337. Now, why that's quite a strong price for a number 1 chase card in any set for One Piece, for a One Piece set. If you compare this to some of the other top chase cards in some of the other sets, this is quite weak. This would be good if you compared it to Pokemon. There's not a lot of number 1 chase cards in new sets in Pokemon that crack 300. But for One Piece, that's not a really strong price for a number 1 chase card. But I think my opinion on Two Legends, okay, OP8, is it's not a throwaway set. But it's nothing to get crazy excited about. If you got a little bit of spare cash and you don't mind dabbling in One Piece, I think it's not a bad pickup. Here's the price of the booster box. The Two Legends booster box, it's down 14% in 1 month. $92 back in mid-October. Now you can pick up the booster box for $74 US. It's about 110 Australian dollars, I think. Now, the way I look at this, right, even though it's not the strongest set, the way I look at this, what's the long-term upside and what's the long-term downside? The biggest downside is maybe it drops $10 or $15, the booster box. The upside is if you're an investor, you're in it for 3, 4, 5, 10 years and longer for some people. But minimum 5 if you're an investor in these booster boxes. Now, obviously depending on what the market does and the price does, if you can make a quick buck and this skyrockets, you know, it's a different story. There are outliers, but we're really long-term investors in this stuff, right? So what's the upside long-term? Could it go to 300, 400, 500 a booster box? You know, fast forward 5, 6, 10 years. Could it be a $2,000, $1,000 bit? I don't know. But the upside is so much greater than the downside. This is a $74 booster box. I'd be picking it up for 110 Australian dollars. I'll definitely be picking it up. It's not the strongest set. I'm not thrilled about it. I'm not like, oh my god, I have to get Two Legends immediately. And the price might come off slightly. You see the price over the last month has dropped. I generally don't rush out and buy One Piece as soon as it gets released, because quite often the booster boxes pull back in price in that first month or two with One Piece. Not always, but it seems to happen a fair bit. But now it's a pretty good price. I wouldn't lose sleep if I went and picked this up. I'd love to get it in my collection. Again, I'm not over the moon about it, but I will pick it up. I would say it's sort of a mid-tier investment. Okay, so not a crazy overhyped set. What do you guys think? Are you guys going to get Two Legends? Would you rather go spend your money on something else? Are you not interested in One Piece at all and you wish I just do more Pokemon videos? Don't worry, there's plenty of them coming. I like to do a One Piece video like every 2 or 3 weeks or so. Just to dabble in it. Thanks for watching the chase card. There's the top 10 from OP8 Two Legends. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye, everyone.